My name is Todd, and we'll whip through this. We'll show you the major rooms of the house. We won't tromp you through the whole house on 3 floors, 10,000 square feet. We have the major rooms that really sort of get people excited here. I don't know what you've learned on this tour so far, but this collection, when I say it's famous, the collection of these houses are famous. When we get to one of the rooms upstairs, we'll find out why they're famous. But I'll give you a tip right now. They're famous because they're one of a kind in the United States. There's no other collection like this in the country. So that's one reason. But what is this collection? We'll learn that later on. You are in an old house, much older than what it is, what stands today. But when William Lewis and his wife came to build a summer home, that they technically called a villa, not a mansion. Villa was what described this house. It was never a mansion. You picked that up somewhere. When they came, they found the Swedes had already been out here, and they built a farmhouse. And there's a significant attachment to that. We'll find out later on another attachment. But they decided not to destroy it. So they decided to incorporate the 1762 Swedish farmhouse into their villa. So when they come to that door, they see a different room than this. So this was part of the farmhouse, got one room over there. So it was basically pretty small. This room was even smaller because there was a wall right there, a door here, and you're standing with the stairway, it used to be. And this was the front room for it. It was actually a fireplace right here. Well, they moved all that to the north side of the Swedish farmhouse. They decided to have an opening party. Now this is where it gets fun. Because this is also going to tell you the date of when they have their villa done. The Lewises decided to have this party, and they're going to set it on a specific day, during a specific date, to celebrate 2 national events simultaneously the opening of their summer home. The first one is the election of President Washington, and the second one is the ratification of the Constitution. Now that's the trick word, ratification. So you know that's 1789. I didn't have to tell you that. But what's really fun is it was July 4th, 1789. So that is the date of when they opened this house. Now we will find out in the next room why they're doing this. They're not just being flag Americans. They have personal connections with these 2 dates, which make this house very significant. Now, Mrs. Lewis sent out invitations to not Strawberry, it's everyone come to Somerville. That was the Lewis's name. Later on in the house, the name Strawberry comes up. It is actually attached to another part of the house. And in that house, we're going to destroy, as best I can, out of your minds, all the urban legends that connect this house to strawberries and ice cream, either being grown, eaten, sold here. It has nothing to do with the name of the house. It all happened, but years after the house was already named Strawberry. We'll find out about that. Now, this would be the happy home, the summer home for the Lewises until he dies 1819. Mrs. Lewis sells 1821 to some wild people, friends of theirs. The Lewises were kind of reserved. She was a Swede. He was an ex-Quaker, now Episcopalian. She was, and his second wife, a Roman Catholic. And so, but they were still reserved. But the Hemphills, friends of theirs, offices of travel, the Hemphills were quite different. They were extravagant. They were great entertainers. They also, the Hemphill was a congressman in the United States. Congressman buys this in 1821, and they're flying files. So that tips you off. This bill is not going to be doing for them. They want a bigger one. So they had an 1825 tower down there, and an 1828 tower on the north end. And that gives us the house we have today. Now, this center part that Lewis does it, his carpenters and so forth will dress up the house in the latest style. Philadelphia will have in its boundaries the first Adams-style house in the United States. This is it. It's the Woodlands. But Lewis will get this style as well. Now, you may know that style as Federal. Call it Federal as long as you're in the United States. But don't go to England and call it that because it is a Scottish-English architecture. And you'll be caught out. They'll say, oh, dumb American. They don't know anything. Everything is American. And one of the things about the style is if you look at the other farmhouses that you go by with, they are all Middle Georgian for the most part. Square boxes with Roman applications on it. Well, the Adams style wants to get away from that, start making a house to be less static. And they do that with octagonal rooms, elliptical rooms, oval rooms, which is important. Oval room house in the United States. Yes, the White House. The president lives in an English house. We can call it federal all we want. We're dealing with a dull, square, Swedish farmhouse, and he's dressed up as best he could. But this room shows off the style, Adams style, because also the Adams style doesn't want any flat walls. Our modern architects would go nuts. And they've also been more expensive than building the way we build today. So these niches are not just a way to show off our pretty 19th century alabaster urns. These actually are part of the architectural statement to get this room to shift around and move, vibrate with light and shade dark and so forth. Very significant in this. Well, let's close the door.
You want this one closed?
No, that one's done. I just, the sign of this, I didn't want more than through them. You don't have to worry about if I get an 11 o'clock tour. We'll have to.
Absolutely.
I don't think I will. We've been dead this weekend.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's the season's in here.